Okay, fellas, hopefully you can hear me. Let's see if you do. Yeah, I probably do. So, this will be a Python introduction video, and I'm going to be teaching you some things about Python, and not only the basics, but a few other things as well. And I should have made this separate, but nevertheless, just the basic if statement things and some let's see how you define functions, what's a set, different data structures in Python, list, set, tuple, dictionary I'm going to touch upon, and that's the thing pretty much. So let's first of all, what's Python? It's one of the most popular programming languages. It's out there competing with JavaScript for the first place. Not really sure, but it's used for pretty much you can do ML, which is machine learning. It does stand for machine learning. You can also create web apps with some web, of course, web frameworks like Django, and I think it was fast. And then what you can do game dev. I've done game dev. I've created or tried to create a a game, a very simple game, and I don't know what is this here. No idea. Don't ask me why. So it's very easy to learn. By the way, notes in the description below. It's very easy to learn, super simple syntax as you will see later, and it's object oriented. Also, it's open source. So let me first of all create. This is how you would create just an array. By the way, you by the way, Python is what it's called dynamically typed. So if you don't have to create or explicitly type in the types of the array, you would do something like this in Java, but not in Python. So this is how you import packages. You just type in the keyword import, the name of the package, and if you want to use not as NumPy but refer to it as other name, you just type in s and your name. It could be any name here. It could be name, and I can now use this name to create an array, but of course I'll keep it as MP. So we're going to create an array by of course typing the name of our array, and because I'm so creative I just typed array, and then we're going to assign a value of np dot, and we'll use a function which is again array, and here what I want to do is just add in an array like this with elements, predefined elements, and if you print the array, and I don't know why I just put all these codes in one block. That was a mistake. If you print the array, you get something like this. And by the way, how do you see types, or from what type is some variable or array? As in this case, you can see that just by typing type, and in this brackets you type in your not variable, but you can do variable or array or whatever. And I didn't execute, I think. Let's see, and I don't get anything print out for whatever reason. Probably I should have done something like print. Let's now see if we get a different result, and I get a class numpy.nd array. Don't know what nd stands for, but don't care. Also, Another interesting thing I just found out about an array is you can basically sort of do like a map function is in JavaScript, and just by you can iterate over each element, and let's say like in this example times it by 2, and you do that just by saying array times 2. It's so straightforward, and as you can see, this is why Python is up there among the most popular programming language, because it's so simple. So here's our arrays anyways. This is times 2, this was 4, this was what, this was 6 times 4, this was 7. See, this is how easy it is to run over a function. So the next thing is how you create an array, but with NumPy. You just type in np or whatever you've named your NumPy package, and then let's see, you type in arrange, method arrange. It's not so self-explanatory. I mean, arrange doesn't associate with creating an array, but it is what it is. So, and then this arrange function from the NumPy package takes in 3 parameters. And the interesting thing I found out, you can type those in any order, and you'll get the same result. So this takes a parameter which is start, which just basically means from what number should I start the array. And by the way, here's the array. We get only even numbers from 0 to 8, including 8. Let's see. So start is equal to 0, and step. You probably already know what step is. Step is how much should I add to get the next number. So 0 plus 2 is 2, and then it iterates and gets from 2, it adds 2 again and gets 4, then 6, 8, and we get we need to pass it a third parameter, which is stop, and that basically tells the function where or when to stop. And just to take note that the function doesn't take 10, so it will only give us 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. So let me take a breath. So this is how you would do a for. It's straightforward. You just type in the name here of the variable you want to iterate, and then type it in, and this is interesting, type in arrange, and in this brackets you type in the number, and basically it starts the number from 0, then goes up to this number minus 1. So now it will go to 0 to 5, including 5, and it will print out. And basically in all of the Python language, you get, instead of these curly brackets, you need to get used to just these dots. And how does, you may wonder, how does the for loop know to how do we define multiple lines in a for loop? We just do this. So the for loop will think now that this and this are included in the for loop. If you now start typing in something like this, which is not indented, this will not be in the for loop. And that's the same applies in if statements, etc. So how can you make an array from a for loop? This is also pretty interesting. So you just type in the name of your array and then give these brackets that are pretty common for in all programming languages for arrays. Then you would type in for and your standard for. Ignore this part for now. So you just type in your standard for. Instead of defining it, you just add in the name of your variable here. And basically this for goes to 1, 2 through 9 and puts it in all in array and assigns it to this thing. And now and this is the array we got. Okay, so how can you turn matrix into an array? So here we have a matrix, which is just a two-dimensional array, and if you type in extend, this will take in every iteration, into first iteration, take this array, this one-dimensional array, and then if this is, by the way, L is, as you can see, an empty array. And if you call extend on this empty array and pass it this array, what it does is basically makes single elements from the array and combine together that you get a one-dimensional array. Next thing, and I'm hurrying because I have a lot to cover. So you can check if an array contains an element just by typing the number and then saying in what array. So here we get, let's see what we get. We don't have nothing because we don't print this. But this is how you basically get. Then we have just want to say that this sort method exists. And that's pretty much it. And by the way, you can get or access numbers from an array by typing negative indexes here. And negative one just means like the last element, I mean. So if you have 1, 2, 3, minus 1 means 3, minus 2 means 2, etc. So finally we got into tuples. What is a tuple? A tuple is a collection or data structure is Python. You can think of it as such, which is ordered and unchangeable. So this is how you define a tuple. This is my tuple 1 variable. Then in these parentheses, so it's ordered and unchangeable. These are the main two things you need to remember. This is how you would access. You got the first element, the same as in array. But the thing here is basically it's an array, but that's unchangeable. So you cannot change any element on whatever position you choose. If you do something like this, you want to assign the first element to 1, this is not allowed. Also, let's dive into dictionaries. A dictionary is a collection which is unordered, changeable, and indexed. So I'm not sure what's meant by index because I copied this information from Google, but this is basically a dictionary. You use curly brackets to define it. And dictionary, you think of it as just like dictionary. It contains key value pairs. This is the key and this is the value. If you want to create a new key value pair, you of course need to say the name of your dictionary, then you type in these brackets the name of your key, and then you assign it a value. And if I print the dictionary now, guess what's being printed now? What will this line print? If you guessed it right, make sure to subscribe. So let's see. And we get this array with my key value pair added. Okay, so that's all about for dictionary. Set. What's a set? It's in another collection data type that is iterable, mutable, and has no duplicate elements. So you can change it, but it doesn't allow you to duplicate elements, and it's unordered. Interesting. So if you now print out set, you get this thing, and this is your traditional if and if else, but instead of doing like this, you need to do like this else if. Even the else if it's shortened in Python. This is how you define a function instead of doing something like this, like you would do in Java. You just type in def, the name of the function, the name of the function, and then some parameters. And by the way, as we've done throughout this video, you don't need to specifically type in the name, but Python, because it's so smart, it dynamically knows or figures out the type of the variable. This is just a function that prints hi to this parameter name you passed. And if you call the function with the code nerd, you get, let's see, hi code nerd. Okay, so here we're almost wrapping up. So this is how you import NumPy. NumPy is just a package that is used mostly for data science purposes, and because we're of course going to be learning data science. If you don't know already, follow my data science playlist. And this is to create an array, and I don't know why I've typed this once again, because I've already created this. Let's just print out my array, type in n3 array, and then we get this thing. This is how you create an array, just from 1 to 10, and you don't get, of course, the 10th, but only the 9th in your array. This is how you would do. You would times 2 every element in the array, and I'm getting sleepy. So then how to reshape or how to turn your array into matrix, you just call the method reshape and give it parameters how much rows and how much rows and how much columns. I think in that order. And let's print out the matrix. And here's the matrix you get from this array to this array. As you can see, there are 1, 2, 3 rows, and there are 1, 2, 3 columns. And the last thing is pandas. We use pandas again for data science purposes, mostly. And this is how you import pandas. Usually you assign the name at PD only. There's this data frame function in PD that allows you to make somewhat of fancy stuff to your data, and you'll use it a lot. You'll see in future videos. And this is a dictionary or some data we give it here. And if you want to print only one column, you just type in df and label if you want to type in or print out on this card. And now I'll just type in if, so you can see the data frame. And here's the data frame. We have some attributes here in the data, and we have rows of each. This is one record, this is second, etc. I mean third, etc. So that's all about for this video. Make sure to subscribe and watch my next video about data science or whatever you're interested in. So thank you again, or for the first time, for watching, and catch you in the next one.